Hello everybody, welcome to this session on the Cubigo Virtual Hospitality Summit. I hope you enjoyed the previous sessions earlier today. And the session today will be all about the demo of the new Cubigo Hospitality Suite. Before we go into that, I want to give you a short introduction about Cubigo. So my name is Geert Houben, I'm the founder and CEO of Cubigo. And we started the company really to change the landscape of technology in senior living. What we see is that when the baby boom generation and the new generations are moving into senior living, they have different expectations. They want more meaning, they want more personalization, they want more services that really fit their needs. And today the landscape of technology in this space is very fragmented. You have all these siloed solutions that makes it very difficult and hard to manage and to provide that uniform, consistent experience to your residents. So Cubigo is the integrated platform that integrates all these different services from resident engagement, visitor management, point of sales, and so forth to give that consistency to your end users, but also efficiency on the back end. And of course, all the data that you need to drive and run your business. Cubigo initially started with resident engagement, so activities, news, chats, digital signage, in-suite TV channel to really interact and communicate with residents and keep them engaged in the community. What we saw over time is that there was a big need for the integration of all the hospitality services in the community into that same experience and in the same platform, not only for residents, but also for team members. And that is why we came up with the Hospitality Suite. It's the latest Cubigo module, and it consists out of different cubes. We have the dining experience, we have the concierge cube, we have the product shop, and the wellness well-being cube for wellness appointments. These different cubes are all consistent and very similar in use, like all the other cubes in Cubigo, so that makes it very easy for all the end users to use the platform. On top of that, we offer multiple payment methods. Residents can pay with credit card, debit card, but also the Cubigo wallet, which is a declining balance or point system. And of course, these payment methods are accessible too for family members or guests coming in from outside in the community. On top of that, we offer a clear and transparent overview of all the transactions for a resident in the community, also accessible by the resident, but the family member as well. And if that is not enough, we even personalize all these different services. So we keep the preferences and the history of all transactions of a resident in their profile, so you can use that information to tailor the services to the needs of the residents. Like for example in dining, when you know the allergies, when you know the dietary requirements or preferences of a resident, you can really tailor or curate the food selection for the resident. And that makes it a very personalized experience. The Hospitality Suite is not only accessible for residents or family members, of course also by the team, so you can use it as a tableside ordering tool in the dining room or a point of sale solution in the product shop. You can even open up that product shop for a family member so they can buy presents for residents and so forth. So you have a lot of combinations with these different cubes in the Hospitality Suite. Today we will go into a demo of these different features. I hope you will enjoy it. So now we will do a demo of the Cubigo platform. Let's start with the resident. So I'm a resident with an iPad, can be a smartphone or a laptop as well, it doesn't matter. And this is the Cubigo homepage. So you have some branding of the community, you have your schedule for today with all the items that are personalized for you, and then you have the cubes. The cubes are the different services that you can access. These are modular, so you can start with one and build it up from there. And we will go into them right now. Everything is just available on my iPad. And I have several general features on top here. Let's go into the newsfeed. This is very Facebook style, very dynamic timeline of all the information in the community, like new food items like Thanksgiving Day or new team members that are announced. This newsfeed can be targeted for different roles like prospects or family members. There is a secure chat box here where you can chat with the gardening club, with team members, maybe team members among each other, or with family members. You have the resident profile where you can go into for personal information that you can provide yourself as a resident, but you also have a real-time overview of all the charges. So no questions anymore about the transactions. And last but not least, on the homepage, you have the information cube. This is the handbook of the community in real time, with all kind of information like videos and files you can upload. But there is also a very visual resident directory. You can search for interests like bridge to see who else is interested in that hobby, so you can connect with them and engage even more in the community. So let's start with the dining cube. So I want to order the food from my room. So I click on the dining cube. I have access to information panels, but I want to place a request. And I pick my time slot, so it's for today. So I go into the dinner slot, the main courses, and here I have a nice overview of all the different dishes that are served. So let's go for the coconut fish curry. I want to add some accompaniments like bread. I want to add this. And of course I need a dessert, like a tiramisu. That sounds good. And of course a drink. Let's do a red wine. Add this also to my cart. And when I'm ready, I see a nice overview of all the items. I can deliver it to my apartment. It's an extra charge, but you can all configure that. And then you have a time slot to pick. So let's do 7 p.m. I confirm my order. I go into my homepage again. I see that the meal ordering is confirmed. It's on my schedule. I can see the status changes when the kitchen changes that. And I'm good to go. The next cube I want to show in the dining experience as a resident is the table reservations cube. So I go into table reservation. I want to do a reservation for tonight for dinner. I take the number of people here. My family is coming, so we are with 5. I take 6:30 p.m. And there is a special occasion. My grandson has his birthday, so I want the staff to know that so they can prepare like a nice cake. I request that table reservation. It appears again on my schedule. For today, it's confirmed because the system automatically knows the available time slots based on the capacity of the dining room. So I'm all good. Table is confirmed at 6:30. We have the dinner with the family. Next cube I want to show you is the concierge cube. In the concierge cube, you can provide a whole range of services for your residents. And I'm still a resident here, and I have a dog, and I want my dog to get out for a walk. So I want to order dog walking. So I go into the concierge cube. I click on pet services here, and I get an overview: dog walking, dog grooming. So let's go for dog walking. And here I have to provide some more details. What is the name of my dog to personalize it? Is there any behavioral challenge that I have to provide to the dog walker? The amount of hours I want my dog to be out, the date, the time, and so forth. So I fill that in. I request a service. I see an overview. I can still add some other services, but I'm good here. So I request it. It appears on my schedule again. I'm good to go. My dog will be happy because we will be out in a few hours. Next cube is the wellness cube. In the wellness cube, I see an overview of the different services like spa treatment, beauty treatment, manicure, pedicure, but also hairdresser. And I want to have my hair done, so I go into hairdresser, and then I take the haircut service. And here I provide more information. I see the basic price. I select the date, the time. I can give some extra information, and when I request this, it appears on my schedule for today. When the hairdresser confirms this slot, I get an automatic notification, so I know that everything is good to go. When I click on this request on my homepage, I see the details, and I can still provide more information, or the hairdresser can ask me more questions. So this is a way to communicate through the platform specifically about this service. It's available for all the services, and it makes it very efficient to communicate back and forth between myself and the service provider. Next cube is the activities cube. So I have an overview as a resident to all the activities that are organized in my community. So I see here there is a bowling session. So I go into bowling. I see who else is signed up for this activity, so I have a nice overview of all my friends that are going there. I'm going as well, so I sign up. I get a notification here that it is confirmed, and when I go back to my homepage, I see an overview of the schedule where the bowling activity is on. 15 minutes before I get a notification, so I'm sure I will not forget that. And of course I can still cancel this activity. I can go back into the cube to see my previous activities and so forth. And it gives a very easy way to sign up for all the events in the community. In the next cube, we can request transportation. So I provide my destination. I will go to the hospital. And of course, this is not only beneficial for a resident to do himself, but also the family members can do that remotely. So I provide the address, the day, the time. It's a round trip. I require maybe an escort from the room to the car. I'm not in a wheelchair, otherwise the system would have stored that information. I request this transportation. It gets on my schedule for later today. And I can, of course, communicate with the driver. They can also confirm the request. I get notifications of that. So I am always up to date about my transportation. In the following cube, you can do maintenance requests. So if I have a problem with my light bulb, for example, in my master bedroom, I can select light bulb replacement with extra information. When I request this, it goes onto my schedule for today. The maintenance department gets a notification. They can confirm it. They can ask more questions. And the housekeeping cube here on the dashboard is very similar. So you can request housekeeping for your room. So all very easy for a resident to have access to these services and to use them on their iPad or device they want. So that was the resident experience. And now we will move into the team staff experience. And so I'm, again, here on an iPad, but it can be a laptop, PC, smartphone, again, for team members. And I have an overview of the dashboard here with the different cubes, but also access, of course, to the back office. First of all, maybe important to mention is that as a team member, I can do requests for the resident. So it's not necessary that a resident is accessing or using the platform. The team member, the concierge, the reception desk can also do it for the resident to make sure that all the information is captured in that one single digital backbone that is Cubigo. So the first cube we will dive into is the dining cube again. So remember Arnold ordered before the coconut fish curry. So I go into the back office and the requests, and I see his order. I can confirm it, so he gets a notification. I can ask more questions. And this information is not only available on my devices, but you can also have them on a ticket printer in the kitchen. So remember that Arnold asked for a dog walking. So the concierge has access to this request. So I go into these requests, I see the dog walking, I can confirm it again. And I can also here change the payment method. So if the resident does not want to pay on account, I can still change it here into credit card or the Cubigo wallet if I want. So the next one is the table-side ordering tool for the team members in the dining room. So I'm on my iPad. You can use an iPad mini, an iPhone, any smart device. And so you first select your location if you have multiple restaurants in your community, dinner. And then you see a visual seat map where you have different colors indicating the states of the table. So when a table is ready for ordering or for payment, you have a very clear overview as the manager of the dining room. And I go to an open table, that's 32. You can seat people, you can reserve the table. It's linked with table reservations we showed before. So when you seat people, you can first of all select your resident so that everything what you do afterwards is tracked on resident level. So you select the seat of the resident. It's important for new waiters, they can personalize their welcoming message. And I select another one. So let's put Arnold on seat 2. When I close this table, you will see the color has been changed. So this table is ready for ordering. So I go into order, and for Mary, I take the pasta with chicken with some extra bread. She also wants a white wine that works well with the chicken. And then for Arnold, I do filet mignon. You can also have access to the preferences and the allergies of the resident in real time when you do the food ordering. So that makes it very easy for you as a waiter to help curating and selecting the right food. So filet mignon, I don't need any modifiers. I just want to add some garlic with potatoes for this order. And I do also a red wine in this case. I'm done. When I save this order, I can send it fully to the kitchen all at once, but you can also send it in parts. First the appetizers, main courses, desserts, it's all possible. So send in the full order. It goes on the ticket printer or the iPad in the kitchen. The color has been changed. I can click on it, and when the food is ready, I can serve it. And we keep the time between ordering and serving. That's a very important quality metric because it's the speed of service. You don't want to wait too long for your food when you have ordered it, right? So when you click again on the table, you can close it for payment. So you see here, Mary pays on default with the Cubigo wallet, the declining balance credit system. So I do that as well. And then for Arnold, default pays on account, on invoice. So I do that, but you can still change that. We have an integration with credit card providers like Square, but you can of course pay cash. But in this case, I will just do the on-account payment. I can close the table. The system can not only be used for residents, can also be used for unknown guests, like family members or guests that come in the community for lunch or dinner. And then to conclude and to finalize, we also have a feature called Census, where you have an overview of all the residents that were present during the shift in the dining room. So you know who you can still expect, but also at the end of the shift, you can check on the residents that were not present there, which is of course very efficient to have that list in real time. That was it, tableside ordering, dining room for the team. So remember Arnold ordering transportation from his room. In the back office here, you see an overview of all the requests like this one. And when you click on it, you see the details. You can still communicate with Arnold through this ticket-related communication box on the right-hand side. And there is maybe even a billable charge to this transportation. You can all configure that. All these billable charges across all the different services are flowing into the billing system and are exported to the invoice of the resident. So in the Cubigo staff app, you have the option also to create activity calendars and manage all your activities. So when I go in there, I see an overview of the different activities in week overview, in month overview. You see the 6 dimensions of wellness and how your activities are balanced in these. So let's go for that bowling activity I signed up for before. So when I go in there, I see an overview of all the details. You can change them. You can publish activities to certain roles, like activities for family members, activities for prospects, for residents. There is an immediate link, direct link with digital signage. So you can provide information about your activities on the television screens in your community or the in-suite TV channel for your residents. There is also an option here to do attendance tracking. So when you're live in the activity, you can use your smart device to quickly do the attendance tracking, like which residents are present during this activity, and even provide input on their level of engagement. So all that information is stored in Cubigo, is sent to the resident profile, where you will have that overview. It's also possible when you create all your activities in this one single place to export them for print. If you still want to print your calendars on paper, you can do that through the platform. The big advantage of one platform where we integrate all these different services is that we can correlate and collect all the data from these services around the resident in one single place. So if you go to user management, the residents, and you go for Arnold, you see his engagement over time, you see the challenges, the recently attended activities, but also the notes that were taken about Arnold by the housekeeping team in the dining room to really get that 360-degree view around this resident, which visitors he had, which food items he took, but even an overview of all the transactions. And from this overview can even initiate new card payments, like credit card payments for different services. So this 360-degree view is a very powerful tool to get insights in the life of your residents. You can not only provide Cubigo to your residents, you can also provide the app to your prospects. Because you want to go beyond your walls and connect way more early with your prospects and bring them maybe into your community for an activity or for a lunch. You can manage all these membership packages through the Hospitality Suite, and you can manage your prospects in the pipeline module in Cubigo. So you collect the preferences of your prospect, and the moment your prospect becomes a resident, all this information is transferred to the operations team. You have it immediately in real time at hand. It's so important to capture all the billable charges in the community for the work that you do, like transportation requests, maintenance, activities, but also dining items. And that's why we have built that strong hospitality layer that captures all these different transactions and export them to your billing system, like Point Click Care, like Yardi, Alice, MRI, and so forth. Automatically, all these charges will appear on the invoice of the resident, so you get paid in the end for the work you do. All the data that is collected in Cubigo is available for the team in the corporate organization on different levels. We have the resident level, service level, community level, and the corporate level. Let me show you how that looks like on the dashboard. So if you go to, for example, maintenance, in the community, you have a very clear overview dashboard with all the different things you want to know about the maintenance requests. There is also the option here to go into the dining metrics, for example, where you see revenue collection, popular items, the speed of service, and so forth. Activities has also a very important one, because here you can see the most popular activities, or maybe even match the resident interests with the activities that you offer. If you go one step higher, you come to the corporate level, where you have, first of all, the overview of all the communities in your hierarchy. And if you go to the top level, you can benchmark your communities one to each other, see what works well in the community and how they relate on the different metrics. So very powerful to have all that data at hand in one single dashboard environment for your team. So that was it for the features and functionalities for the team and the staff. So let's move on to the family app now. And for that, I will use my iPhone. When I'm logged in as a family member on the Cubigo app, I have an overview of all the cubes and the information that is available, like news, activities. So I keep up to date what is happening in the community, but I can even book transportation maintenance for my loved one and see how he or she is doing in the community. One of the specific features in the Hospitality Suite for family members is access to a product shop. So if your mom or dad has a birthday, or it's Mother's Day or Valentine's Day, you can go into the product shop cube and select some balsam chocolates or some flowers. So if you go into the flower category, you can select a nice bouquet, pay for it online, and it gets delivered to your loved one, which will be very happy with that. Great feature for family members is the visit cube. So if you go into the visit cube, you can book your visit upfront, and you can answer already the necessary questions that the community wants before you enter. When you come into the community, you can scan a QR code and you're good to go. The resident will get automatically a notification that you're there and can pick you up in the lobby. So that was it. Today we showed the resident experience, the team member functionalities, and the family app around the latest Cubigo module, the Hospitality Suite. So with the Cubigo platform, we combine community engagement and hospitality excellence on one single platform for senior living. I want to thank you for your attention. If you need more information, please reach out.